ahead and get started with our military signing day. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker first. We have Lieutenant Colonel Brian Weiss. He's been fortunate enough to do this 4 times, so he knows what he's doing and he knows his way around this podium. So guys, take in what he has to say and learn from it. Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you. As Justin said, I've had the privilege to come and speak to the graduates of Clarkston a few times. I did miss last year. I was on duty, ironically enough. You guys will find out about that. But I found my preparation for this year to be a little bit more difficult. So I wasn't here last year, and there's been a lot of things that have happened personally and also in the world in the last 2 years. So this is the first time I've come to speak with incoming recruits since our withdrawal from Afghanistan. This is also the first time since I enlisted that it seems this country is the closest to the precipice of war that it's been in a long time. But personally, this is the first time that I've spoken to potential recruits since becoming a father. And I had to ask myself a couple of times in the last few days as I was rehearsing for this, thinking about what I wanted to say to you is, would I say the things that I normally said in the past if my daughter were seated right there with me? I'm going to be honest, the answer is no, I wouldn't. What I would say is something different, and that's what I want to share with you today. Also, ironically enough, today is my enlistment anniversary also. I've been in the Army for 16 years today, which is interesting. And I'm still wearing the same uniform that I joined in 2008. A little snug, so something to have for, I guess. Less than 1% of Americans volunteer to enlist in this country. That number is getting less and less every year. Particularly in the last 3 years, it's become less fashionable to dedicate 4 to 6 to 8 to 20 years of your life in service to this country. As I mentioned before, we are as close to war that we've been since 2002. And saying that and knowing that you are still here, you're taking the oath of service and you're going to dedicate 4 years of your life to do that, it's very humbling for me to come here and talk to you guys. It speaks a lot to your character, and I'm very proud of you. I want to be the first to say that thank you for doing this, because we need you. We really do need you. Here's the reality of today, though. As I mentioned before, I'm going to change my speech, thinking that my daughter Bella or Seraphina would be in that next chair with me. The reality of today is that you have absolutely no idea what you just got yourself into. You really don't. I'm sure you saw some fantastic promotional material that the Department of Defense has been putting out. Right? We've got new flashy commercials, we've got great brochures, podcasts. You probably have heard some couple of washed-up veterans like myself give you some pretty exciting war stories, right? I'm also sure that your recruiters have filled your heads with some interesting ideas about what the next few years of your life is going to be like. If they were honest, they might have conceded that there's going to be some difficulty and discomfort associated with the next few years of your life. But surely, that discomfort would be offset. Let's see if I can break your microphone. Surely that discomfort would be offset by the absolute amazing pay that you're going to get in the next 4 years. The fantastic health care that you will receive both in uniform and then when you get out when you're subject to the whims of the VA. Or, probably most importantly for those of us who are 17 and 18, we might have mentioned all the admiration and respect that you'll have from friends and family and the general citizenry of the country. I will tell you, at best, you have some partial truths about what the next few years are going to be like. Hard truth is this.
There's absolutely nothing romantic about this way of life and wearing this uniform. It's extremely hard. You're going to be away from home a lot. And it's probably, for some of you, going to be violent, and it's going to be brutish. I would even dare to say that it's probably going to be the most miserable 4 years of your entire adult life. You will be underpaid. You will be overworked. I'll be the first to tell you, you're going to be underappreciated. But you will also have the most profound sense of accomplishment and brotherhood that you'll see for the next 50 years. I guarantee it. Your service, be it Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, National Guard, it's going to be whatever you make of it. When you report to your recruit station and you come out of your school, you're going to have all the opportunities in the world. Whatever you want to do, it's there in front of you. You want to go be a pilot, Green Beret, Ranger, Raider, SEAL, whatever it is, go do it. Please go do it. The biggest risk that you face going is that you won't seize that opportunity because you're going to be scared of failure, or you're going to be scared about being away from home, about being away from what's familiar to you, your family, your friends, your home, or if you're really honest, you're going to be afraid about getting hurt. Those are all valid fears associated with military service because they're all going to happen. So here's my first piece of advice today. Get over it. Get over it right now. This is not the time in your life to be meek. You need to stretch. You need to jump after those opportunities, have those ambitions that you think are beyond your capability. Because the one thing that hurts more than failure is regret. So my first charge to you, over the next 4 years, or however long you signed your contract for, endeavor to live without regret. If you don't make it, it's okay. There is no shame in trying to do something and failing as long as you gave it your absolute best. And only you can answer that. Failure is a great teacher. The best lessons I've learned in life are things that I strove for and fell flat on my face, fell short, right? But learning to pick yourself back up, getting back after it, not being defeated, that'll teach you something. But you can't be afraid to try because you think you're going to fail. You're never going to be the best versions of yourself if you're too afraid to go after it. So take those hard assignments, whatever that is for you. I mentioned some of the things in my career field, but whatever it is, take those hard assignments. Take those crazy duty locations. Get overseas. Go face strange and unknown things. All right? You'll be better because of it. My second piece of advice. U.S. service members are unlike any other soldiers in the world. I've been to almost all the continents. I've seen almost every army the NATO has to offer and some of the other ones. We're different. You are entering a profession of arms dedicated to selfless service, honor, and courage. Do not take that lightly. I'm going to be the first one to tell you right now. The expectation, as of today, is much higher for you, personally and professionally. You need to be better physically. You need to be better mentally. And listen to this next part. You need to be better morally. That's duty. The moral obligation to do the right thing always, even when it's not convenient to do so. So practically, what does that mean? From today on, you will never lie, cheat, or steal. There will be no more half-hearted commitments. It's truly a shame if you let yourself down, as I mentioned before. But it's unforgivable and tragic if you let your team down. This next part is hard for me to say. 16 years, I've gained so many brothers. Brothers who differ from me in race, color, creed, and faith, but they're brothers nonetheless because they were with me in those absolute worst moments of my life. And that's a debt I can never repay. Be those brothers. So that's the hard truth of what you got yourself into. Now you have to live up to it. So my charge to you, whatever uniform that you put on the next couple months, earn it every day. Live absent regret. And here's the last one. Go do something good in the world, whatever that is. So thank you for joining. I'll be first to say thank you for your service and Godspeed. You want to start with the oath? Very good.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. At this time now, I'm going to have each of the recruits come up. I've asked them to talk about what branch they're going into and what they plan on doing with their service. So we're going to start with Zachary Aris. Zachary?
Hello, my name is, as you know, Zachary Aris, and as you can probably tell, I'm going into the Air Force. Specifically, I'm moving towards the Special Warfare Branch. Realistically, as what I've been told, that the Special Warfare Branch, you don't really get to choose where you're put. You can strive to be whatever you want to be in Special Warfare, but ultimately it's up to the decision of the leaders in charge to put you into what they think is best for you. However, I'm currently training to become a Red Beret, a pararescue member. It's currently been 4 or 5 months since I have been away from school. During those 4 or 5 months, I have been training ruthlessly through Sergeant Urbano, my recruiter, but also Technical Sergeant Mendenhall, who is the Special Warfare recruiter for Michigan, along with my parents, who are my recruiters at home. It has been a long journey. Still yet, I have not been able to pass the IFT. However, I'm hoping soon that I'll be able to, seeing as how the lots of accomplishments I've been able to make and strides I've been able to take towards this journey.
All right, next up, we have Nolan Day.
Hello, I'm Nolan Day. I'm joining the United States Marine Corps, and I'm very proud to do so. Originally this year, I wasn't even planning on graduating. I originally was a junior, and I didn't think that I would even have the opportunity to graduate this year. Because of that, I didn't even think that I could graduate this year, and I expected to graduate first semester next year. Due to my due diligence and looking at my credits, all of that, and just trying to see what I can get and strive for, I wanted to be the best version of myself and graduate as early as possible. Doing so, I got a call from my recruiter, Sergeant Navarro, who I'm very thankful for giving me the opportunity to join the United States Marine Corps. And currently I'm looking at the job of communications as well as the job of electrical maintenance. I'm very proud to be joining the United States Marine Corps, and I look forward to all of the brothers and sisters that I will make along the way. Thank you.
Next up, we have Tristan Ward.
My name is Tristan Ward. I'm joining the U.S. Army. To be honest, I wasn't originally planning on joining the military, but I was thinking to myself one day, I was like, I want to try new things. So I decided to call the recruiting office of the military, and they pointed me to my recruiter, Sergeant Valade. And he talked me through the process, and then I showed up there, and he was the most honest person, most honest recruiter I think I've ever met, talking to multiple different branches. And we kind of ran through the process really quickly. And so I got my job not too long ago. My MLS is 14 Tango. It's anti-air defense. I'm actually really happy with the job. I wasn't planning on picking that job at first, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff going into the military that you learn on the way. So, thank you.
Next, we have Rio Westland.
Hi, my name's Rio Westland. So I'm joining the National Guard, and my job is going to be 68 Whiskey, so combat medic. I've always kind of wanted to serve, because that's what my dad did, is he served in the Navy for a long time, right after high school. And I've always liked the physical aspect of being in a team. That's what I've done football for so long. So I figured eventually when recruiters came to OSTC that I'd reach out to them and see what my options would be. And I met with recruiters from all different branches, and I met with Sergeant E2, who couldn't be here today, but he was very honest and open with everything that my options were, what the plan was, and I'm grateful for everything that happened and how things are turning out right now. I'm excited for it.
Next, we have Evan Wright.
Hello, I'm Evan Wright, and I'm joining the Marine Corps. I didn't initially want to join or have the plan to join the military, but I decided as I got towards the end of my high school career, I decided I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself, and I think that's what led me to make this decision. So I will be going into the Marines to be a combat engineer, and I hope to be the best version of myself that I can be, and I'm excited to meet many brothers and sisters along the way and to share experiences with them. Thank you.
Thank you, recruits. We did have two others that couldn't be here today due to other obligations that they had. We have a Josh Vizentine, who is also going into the Marines, and we also have a Charles Matthews, who's also going into the Marines. They couldn't be here with us today, though. At this time, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel to come back up, and normally you guys, if you've already done it or you will do it, you'll have a swearing-in ceremony. There's usually a lot more people in that, and sometimes it's hard for family to get a picture. So family, we're going to do a swearing-in, but this is mostly for you guys to be able to take a picture of watching your children swearing in for this moment. So Lieutenant Colonel, if you wouldn't mind.
This is one of my favorite parts about being a field grade officer, is that I actually have the constitutional legal authority to swear you in. So on your feet, assume the position of attention, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you. That's going to conclude our ceremony. Parents, you feel free to take more pictures with their recruiters, with Lieutenant Colonel if he's so willing and so kind, as well as we have refreshments and some little treats over there too for you guys. So thank you all for coming out, and I wanted to make sure to get you guys out before the rush anyway, so thanks.